What if a simple hunt could change the fate of an entire kingdom? As King Shantanu ventures deep into the wilderness, he stumbles upon the sacred river Ganga. But this is no ordinary discovery. What awaits him will not only shake his beliefs but set in motion a divine encounter that could alter the course of history. Brace yourself as the enigmatic Ganga rises and a shocking turn of events takes hold, setting the stage for an unimaginable journey. In the grand and ancient kingdom of Hastinapura, there once ruled a king known as Shantanu, renowned not just for his wisdom but also for his skill as a hunter. Shantanu would often venture into the forest, leaving behind the weight of the crown to embrace the wild. His heart found peace in the thrill of the chase, and for him, hunting was more than just sport. For weeks, Shantanu had been on a hunt near the banks of the sacred river Ganga. So deeply absorbed was he in his pursuit that he hardly noticed the beauty of the river that flowed beside him, calm yet powerful. With servants always at his side, he never had to worry about food or water. But one fateful day, in the heat of his hunt, Shantanu suddenly found himself alone. His throat parched and his body weary. He realized there was no one around to bring him water. It was then that he turned to mighty Ganga, seeking relief from his thirst. As his hands reached out to touch the water, the surface of the river began to stir. And then, before his very eyes, something miraculous happened. From the depths of the sacred river, a woman emerged. She was not just any woman. Her beauty was radiant, her presence divine. It was none other than Ganga, the goddess of the river herself. In that moment, Shantanu's heart was struck as if by an arrow. Never had he seen such beauty, such grace. He was captivated, and before he could think, he knew he had fallen deeply, irreversibly in love with her. Unable to contain his feelings, the great king knelt before her, pleading for her hand in marriage. He, a king, ruler of Hastinapura, humbled before the goddess of the river.
Ganga, with a serene smile, agreed to marry Shantanu. But, like all great unions, this one came with a condition. Her voice, soft yet firm, carried the weight of a divine nature. Ganga speaks softly, I will be your wife, O king, but there is one condition you must agree to. No matter what I do, no matter how strange or painful it may seem, you must never question me. You must never ask me what I do and why I do. Blinded by his love and the promise of having such a divine being by his side, Shantanu agreed. And so, the great king Shantanu took Ganga as his wife. With the sacred vow exchanged, Shantanu and Ganga were married. The king's heart was filled with joy, and the people of Hastinapura celebrated the union of their beloved ruler with the divine goddess of the river. As time passed, the love between Shantanu and Ganga deepened. Their life together seemed blessed, and soon Ganga bore Shantanu a child, a son, the heir to the throne. On the very night of the child's birth, however, Ganga did something unthinkable. Without a word to anyone, she took the newborn to the sacred river. There, in the stillness of the night, Ganga waded into the water with the newborn prince in her arms. And as the river flowed gently around her, she submerged the child beneath its surface, letting the waters climb him. Shantanu, unaware of what had transpired, waited anxiously for his wife to return with their child. But when she returned, she was alone. The king's heart sank with dread, yet bound by his promise, he dared not ask Ganga what had happened. The king was torn between his love for Ganga and the haunting mystery of what had become of their son. Yet, the promise he had made to his beloved wife kept him silent. And so, Shantanu said nothing, hoping that this terrible event was an isolated one. But this was just the beginning. One by one, Ganga bore Shantanu more children, and each time she carried them to the river shortly after birth and drowned them in the same waters from which she had once emerged. Shantanu, bound by his love and his vow, watched helplessly, and his sons were taken from him, their lives claimed by the goddess of the river. Shantanu's heart ached with sorrow and confusion, but he remained silent. He could not bear to lose Ganga, and so he endured the pain of watching his children vanish into the depths of the river. But how long could the great king bear this sorrow? And why was Ganga, his beloved, doing such a cruel and unimaginable thing?